ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our last jazz band concert of the year, and we're glad to have you here. These people are fabulous, and I just wish we had thousands more to hear them. So they do a great job. You're going to hear some great music tonight, and just want to recall that let you know that we have only one more event for this year, and it's going to be Nathan Blair and Gabe Rollins. Where are you guys? There they are, one and over here. And they will be doing their senior recitals. They didn't quite wait till the last minute, but it's pretty darn close. So we're glad to have you guys going to be doing your senior recitals. So we need to get started. You all know all the rules, except for the jazz band. You can clap after every solo and let them know how well they did. So it'll be a fun evening. So let's begin with prayer. So let's pray. Father, thank you for this band. We thank you for Mr. Day and his leadership. It's been a wonderful time to work with him over the years, and I'm thankful for the friendship we have. We pray that you would lead all of these musicians as they perform. May you be honored by the talent that you have given them, and we thank you in Jesus' name. So here's one, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good evening, everybody. I had a professor tell me just 2 days ago, I want to do what you do. And I said, well, what is that? He said, stand around in the front of the band and do nothing. He's not here tonight. I invited him to come and do exactly what I do. And actually, this first tune is exactly what I did. I'd like to thank Dr. Campbell for getting this program off to a correct tempo beginning, which not everyone can do, and for the band being ready to play it, and for all the soloists knowing what they're supposed to do, because I literally didn't have to do anything. And I'm planning to do that for several tunes tonight, including the next one. The next one is featuring one of our graduating seniors, Gabe Rollins, on a cool tune that's written just for him. Now, he's going to get some help with another one of these, but these are both country boys playing a country boy. Gabe, you ready? I will start the tune, then I'll get out of the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to do a brand new, I don't know if, has it been performed in public, Mike? One time. One time in public. This is a friend of the band back here, Mike Martin, who did an arrangement. Mike has a degree in jazz composition from the University of Memphis and just happened to land in our area. I met him through our community band, and Mike has been coming and playing with us. And not only playing, but he brought this great chart, which is going to feature another person that has come to play with us, which is Tyler, who's going to be our soloist on this one, as well as another player who's coming to play with us, who is Augustus. So we got several people who have joined us, are helping us out with their chops. Mike's helping out with his arranging skills, and none of you know this piece. So if we play it poorly, you won't know. And I get to play some bass, and I'm sharing the bass playing tonight with Ransom not because he can't do it, because I want to play some. So he's very gracious and allows me to play a little bit. And so we're going to do this tune. I even forgot the title. What's the name of this? The Time's Right. The time is right for us to do this tune, and this will be fun. I'm going to make sure I have sound. I do, sort of, and then we're going to play it. So none of you knew the song, right? Where'd you find that one, Mike?
One of my heroes, trumpet player, just from the 70s. It's obscure, but
An obscure trumpet hero from the 70s. So that's why none of you have heard it. Because now it's an obscure arrangement in the 2023s. And we actually liked it enough that we're going to try to record that on Thursday, because there's a lot of stuff that we've learned, a lot of wonderful things from that arrangement. This next tune none of you have heard either, but it's really kind of sweet, and it's a ballad, and it's going to feature some trombone section work, and it's going to feature some trumpet section work, and it's a couple of tenor saxes playing a unison solo, which is kind of a unique thing. And this is called Cool and Caressing, and I hope you like it. So the next tune is going to be a little bit more kind of what you might expect from a jazz ensemble. These other things have been kind of mature and harmonically challenging, and these next one's not. This next one is just a blues, and it's featuring the trumpet section, and but they're allowing other people to be soloists in this tune. In fact, this tune will give you more solos than any of the other ones because I had to do it because Quinn Moore over here is Barry saxophone, and he's going to play, and unbeknownst to him until about an hour ago, Aiden Moore over here is also going to be playing some solo stuff. And then I'm going to pick randomly some trumpet players to come out, and they're just going to play some solos. So those of you who have never been to a jazz concert understand that the whole art of jazz is in improvisation, trying to be able to create some communication with the soloist and the audience and the spur of the moment. So all of these solos you hear tonight are being composed on the fly. If you like them, like Dr. Campbell said, it's okay in this venue to be able to go, woo, I like that one, and really loud. But if you don't like it, then just go, woo, I like that one, and makes everybody feel good. Anyway, this is called free-range trumpets. I don't know why, but jazz people don't really have good titles of songs. So this one is free-range trumpets, and we're putting Ransom back on the bass, and I'm going to stand in the front and do nothing. So let's play. So that tune was like free-range trumpets, and you heard some trumpets get some, the melody and got to lead a little bit. This next tune has got a little better title. What's it called? Slideways? Slideways. And you might imagine who that's featuring, right? Our trombone section is going to be featured in this tune. And we have got a great trombone section. So I think you're going to enjoy this. It's a little bit faster than the other one, but guess what? There will be some solos in it. Guess who it's featuring? That's right, the trombone section. Of course, the last one was a trumpet thing, and I gave it to some saxophones, but this one is all trombone. Hope you enjoy Slideways. So did you pick up on the intermission middle of the tune when we just kind of stopped playing it and walked around and did nothing in front of the band? That's my job. I forgot to tell them that we weren't going to have a solo section there, so we just played changes, and I walked around and looked cute. And then the trombones didn't come back in, and then they looked at me like, what? You didn't tell us to. So we had a long conversation while the tune was going on. This is jazz. Because if you really think about it, how many people have gone to a jazz club like in New York or gone out and listened to jazz? Most jazz tunes are quite short. There's a what they call the head, then a bridge, and then maybe the head again, and then they improvise for 30 minutes. And then they play the head, the bridge again, and they're done. So we were just trying to do that on a giant scale. Meanwhile, the guitar player, the bass player, and the drummer never get to stop. They have to just keep playing, regardless of what the horn guys over here do. So we just lived that moment. And you didn't really know it, did you? The best thing is, if there had been like hors d'oeuvres and stuff around here, you wouldn't have cared. You would have been eating and the jazzers play in the background. We enjoy that as well. Okay, enough talking. What's our next song? So now that I've run my mouth, some of you might be wondering, what's this over here? And what this is something extremely special to me. We got it up there. It's time. Dun, dun, dun. When I started teaching in '84, I started teaching at Edwards Middle School. And my first drum major was named Brian Linville. And Brian was, I think he was a senior that year. Might have been a junior. He was a junior or senior. Was he a senior, Nancy? He was a junior. Okay, that's right, because he and Zach. And so Brian was my first drum major. I was a brand new guy. Had never done the job. And I got to meet Brian, and I got to meet his parents, because, you know, he lived with his parents as a high school junior. Nancy and Dale took care of me when I first started to teach. Nancy worked at the middle school with me right across the hall. She and I got very excited when we saw something called a hyperlink. Nancy came into my room and she said, "You got to see this. I can click this and it goes here." And it was really exciting. She was showing me all these, they were building houses and they could click from the living room and show up in the dining room. And she was really excited. And Dale, her husband, was like really calm all the time. Dale was the weather guy at Clemson University. He ran all the weather things. And Dale ended up being, with Nancy, one of my band booster presidents, and became very good friends. We were in church together. We did lots of things together. But I'm going to read something that, you know, somebody else says things better than I do. About a year ago, this is not what I'm reading, but about a year ago, Dale passed away. He had been diagnosed with a cancer and was working, getting over that. He had had a heart issue earlier, and he started playing Barry saxophone because he was told he needs to work on his breathing some more. Well, Dale also played alto saxophone, and he also played tenor saxophone, which I didn't have another stand for. So he started playing these things. And a year ago, on his way to an appointment, he passed away. And it was sudden, and it was unhappy. And part of his talents and energy. He was a leader in the Clemson Lions Club. He sang in the First Baptist Church choir, was an elder at Fort Hill Presbyterian Church. Dale played saxophone for the Orange Jam Band, which was a Clemson alumni jazz ensemble. For the New Horizons Band, which was an adult band played in Anderson. The Easley Community Band, of which I was the director. He came and played in my band some 30 years after I started teaching his son. The Dixie Keys, which is a group up at the Kiwi Key. And the Southern Wesleyan University Band. Dale played with our jazz ensemble. Dale played with our wind ensemble. You've seen some of the pictures when he was on tour with us in 2008 to Washington, D.C. Dale was cool. Dale invited the whole band to his house on the lake and cooked us burgers and dogs. Dale went to our jazz camp in the summer. Dale made contributions that nobody even knew about to our department. He supported us. He taught a meteorology class that I took for recertification as a teacher. He gave the school a Hammond organ a couple of years ago. And the one thing that I remember a lot about Dale was that early career of mine, and I had 4 bands that were going to concert festival. I had a 7th grade beginner band, I had an 8th grade second-year band, a 9th grade third-year band, and a high school band. Fortunately, concert festival was at Clemson University, but I had 4 bands going, and I was going a little crazy. The day before we had to do this, Dale just caught me after work one day, and he said, "Come here. I want to take you somewhere." And he put me in his car, and we drove to the Oconee airport. Did you guys know there is one of those? Dale was a pilot, and he said, "Let's take a ride." And he flew me around Clemson and over the lakes, and we talked, and he just waggled the wings, and he settled down this 28-year-old kid and said, "Now let's go do a concert festival thing tomorrow." That was one of the many types of things I got to experience with Dale. So I asked Nancy about this because Nancy said these instruments need to be used. And she donated these instruments to our school in his memory. And so he's not playing them, but I picture Dale sitting right there, wanting to, because one of the pieces we played on that trip to Washington, D.C. was called "Very, Very Good." And I couldn't find a video of us playing that I was going to show you tonight, because we bought that piece because Dale was on tour with us, and it featured the Barry saxophone. And we just had such a great time. But we are going to be using Dale's instruments as long as we can keep them working, because Dale did many things for us that many of you don't know, and these guys, they don't know Dale. I know Dale, and I miss Dale, and I know Nancy misses Dale, and we appreciate the fact that he can stay here with us through all these things. So that's what this is, and for the rest of the night, I'm hoping that with us. So we're going to play a tune that's called "Song for My Daughter," but So Dale would have liked this next tune a lot because it's way too hard for us to play. And he would have said, no problem. It is kind of a problem. This is a hard tune. Anybody ever heard of a guy named Buddy Rich? Buddy Rich? Yeah, Don's heard of Buddy Rich. Has anyone really else not known of Buddy Rich? So if you did, really put your hand up high so I can tell. Okay, see, there's more of you than it would admit. It's okay to know about an old, dead drummer. Buddy Rich, did anybody actually get to see Buddy Rich live anywhere? When I was at Furman, Buddy Rich was one of our guest jazz artists one year. And I won't go into any huge details, but some of the stuff that you hear about on like YouTube and the internet, it's true. He wasn't a real friendly guy. I heard him yell at some of the girls because they had to cut the sandwiches in the wrong shape. Yes, indeed. But man, the guy could play. And for you, those of you who are interested in a little music trivia, one thing that Buddy did not know how to do was read music. There was another drummer that made a pretty good living learning all of Buddy's charts, playing all the charts so that Buddy could hear them, and then sitting down and not getting to play them on the concerts because Buddy was playing them. And of course, Buddy was playing them way better because Buddy had ridiculous technique. So we thought, hey, we have our own drummers here, so we'll let one of them play Buddy Rich's music. So Nathan's graduating, so he won. You see how excited he is right now? He's thrilled to death. But this is a great piece, and it's what's great about it is the fact that it's written by Leonard Bernstein. You know, he wasn't thinking big band when he wrote this. Music from West Side Story. I think you'll recognize most of these tunes, and they're really, well, some are really fast, and some are really slow. And it's going to also feature Gavin over here, and Jackson on trombone, and Scott on some saxophone, and again, Nathan on some drums. I hope you enjoy Buddy Rich's version of West Side Suite. We have one more surprise for you. Some people refer to this as the black stick of death. The clarinet. What's the clarinet doing up here? Woo! The clarinet is probably more of a jazz instrument than the saxophone is a jazz instrument. The clarinet has been around a long time, and it's been used in jazz a long time. And this tune, the clarinet player who did this was by the name of Woody Herman. And he actually also did a lot of soprano sax work. A lot of people recognize him more for soprano sax. But this tune is a clarinet thing. This features Abby Robertson. And ladies and gentlemen, she's a real beast when you start hearing this stuff. But you might recognize this tune as well. Anyone ever see one of the finest game shows ever in the history of game shows? That's right, the Gong Show. You remember the Gong Show? It was great, you know, and the music at the end. See, they're doing it back there. Oh, I thought you did like this. If I went like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, bum, bop, bop, what happens after that? Bum, bop, bop, bum, bop, bop. Yeah, you know it. Come on, you're just being hard to work with. Okay. Anyway, the Gong Show was great, and they used this as theme music, but this arrangement is way better. And we're going to finish up tonight featuring Abby Robertson on Woody Herman's Woodchopper's Ball. I knew it wasn't called the Gong Show theme. Woodchopper's Ball. Thank you very much. We don't have more. But thank you for coming. And if you want to come up, Abby's signing autographs after the show.